have to say this. I'm going to say it every time they give a disclaimer. Though I am a defense attorney, I'm not your defense attorney. I'm not licensed in any of the states that OPLive broadcasts from. Nothing I say should be considered any type of legal advice. It's just my opinion, not my legal opinion, as to what the people are doing and saying. If you rely upon what I say or anybody from the internet says for your legal situation, you're an idiot and you probably deserve all of the idiotic consequences you'll have. So, this is simply meant for entertainment, for information. Obviously, what I say, I do believe to be correct. If you find yourself in a similar situation that is depicted in the TV show, what I say is just something good for you to bring up to your own attorney, because again, I am not your attorney. Okay, for your time sync purposes, the intro card has shown up on the live TV, and Dan Abrams is now on the screen. I see people are making comments. Obviously, I'll do my best to do the comments. All right, what we have here is Hazen, Arizona, or Arkansas. And this is not a play-by-play account of the show. At the beginning, I'll probably give some descriptions of what's on the TV, but that is strictly so people can sync their show with what I'm doing. But I'm really just here to comment on what happened, what they did right, what they did wrong. So don't expect me to be talking the entire time, but this is the very first attempt at this. So we will see how it works. All right, they're pulling over an 18-wheeler right now. They're doing a felony stop. Anytime they say a felony stop, the police are always going to pull guns. It's common if they think it's a stolen car or something. Now, that's one part I've never understood. They always ask the driver, "Is there anybody else in the car?" No matter what answer he gives, they're still going to approach the other side the same way as a felonious stop. One argument that they make it is to establish if the person's going to be truthful or not. And I see OPLive has new graphics this week for their 100th episode. Based on the accent of that officer, I believe this is Arkansas, not Arizona. All right, for time sync purposes, Dan Abrams just came on. I always enjoy the highlights from last week. All right, Abrams is back on the screen for the beginning. For the 100th episode, they flip sides. Abrams is now on the right. All right, we're going back to Arkansas. To my knowledge, they never said why they pulled this truck over. So it appears what happened is the trailer was reported stolen. The Arkansas police found the trailer, and the driver saying he just picked up the trailer as part of his job. You'll see traffic going up the steps tonight. I'll have to fix that. All right, they're moving to Fullerton. And again, I'm not going to give play-by-play, but I'm going to note things for time sync purposes. What I might do next week is purposely delay my feed because I'm watching DirecTV and I also have it streaming on my iPad. And the streaming is 10 or 15 seconds behind. So if you're streaming your version, then you're going to be behind what I'm saying. My commentary is so good and informative, it won't matter. All right, here we go. Now we get some action. So now we have a traffic stop. Pulled over in a parking lot. Now, a couple key factors here. I don't know why they stopped him yet, but this guy pulled into a gas station and has legally parked in a parking spot. If you ever get pulled over, it's where you should go. Because he's in the parking spot, generally speaking, the police do not have the right to tow the vehicle just because they're arresting you. And one way they get to search your car is they claim that they need to do an inventory search of your car, for your protection. But I haven't seen why the stop was made yet. But I do see one officer, he's being a nosy nuisance. He's sticking his head in the driver's side trying to look into the car. I don't like them doing it, but looking inside the car is perfectly legal. Now, this other officer is upset that Buddy's homeboy is filming with his telephone. And his girlfriend said, "Get away." She probably saw the 17 cameras from OPLive and realized your telephone video won't change anything. All right, so this guy's standing on the sidewalk. He's videoing the police, and the police keep threatening him that he's going to take him to jail for some reason. I haven't gathered as to why. At commercial, I'm going to get my earbuds because I've got to be able to hear this better than I am now. And look, I know police have a horrendous, thankless job for the most part. But one thing that they've got to do a better job of as a whole, and I know that probably this is less and less of a problem than it was even a year ago. But guys, you got to quit complaining about being videoed. You're allowed to be videoed. You're out in the open. All right, so now somebody's getting out of the back seat of the car, so that changes the dynamics. All right, so what Dan just said is that there's a no loitering sign. And loitering is a great law. So that quotation, Daytona Beach, they just switched. Because loitering is just, we don't like where you are, so we're going to question you. This doofus is getting pulled over because his trailer is all jacked up with a bunch of crap everywhere. Okay. I'm doing this from my house, so there are people that live here, and they're trying to be quiet, and while I appreciate that, they have to be. I wouldn't be sharing bank account information. All right, this is one that I don't care for. He said he stopped in a high drug, high crime area. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? There's nothing that says I can't be in whatever area I want to be in. But the reason for him interacting with them is that the trailer does not have a tag on it. And the trailer has to have a tag. So Dude, it's got a lot of cash. He's got $30,000 in cash. This is great. That's at least $30,000. Oh, this is great. Back to Hazen, Arkansas. This is a boring one. I don't know what to tell y'all. It gets more exciting in the second hour. Again, this episode is to test the technology, what we're doing here. All right, just went to Daytona. Now we're getting the people out of the car. Who guy had $30,000 cash? Jeremy's estimate, nothing more. All right, we're cuffing the passenger, the shirtless passenger, I might add. So something happened while they were away. And the driver appears to be cuffed now as well. Actually, I can't tell if the driver's cuffed or not. Now the driver's not cuffed. The passenger is. My guess is they checked the passenger, and the passenger had an outstanding warrant. And now look, this is the part that frustrates me. So he get open container. All right, so they're doing all this for an open container. He gets pulled over for a tag violation. The cop admits that while he was, the main reason he wanted to pull him over is he was in a high drug, high crime area and just looks suspicious. Hey, it's a truck with a trailer. It don't look suspicious. The trailer looks like junk, I'll tell you that. So that's the reason for the stop. And that's the first point that a lawyer looks at is why were they stopped? And then that's why you should never talk, because what happened after that, the officer was talking to him and discovered the dude was carrying $30,000 cash. And that certainly raised suspicions. And then noticed that there was an open container. My guess is from the passenger. A lot of people don't realize that passengers can't have open containers. I think at one time the law was that if you weren't driving, you can drink, but they've changed that in almost every state to the best of my knowledge. So now they're going to search the whole car because of open container. Now look, they're about to take a break. I'm going to have to go upstairs. I'm going to get my earbuds. With my earbuds, I'll be able to hear a lot better. So that's good. I don't know the basis of the search yet. My guess is it's a consent search. I don't know if seeing an open container warrants allowing of a whole search. But anyway, I'm going to step away for just a minute while we're at commercial, and I'll be back. So this is not their 60-second commercial, so I'll be back in about a minute or two. I got some food. All right, so I'm about to come back from commercial break. I think I'm just going to do my disclaimer every commercial break, unless I find something different. So once again, my name is Jeremy Jones. I'm a defense attorney in Georgia. I'm just giving live commentary to the OPLive, formerly known as Live PD. And though I'm a lawyer, I'm not your lawyer. I'm not licensed in any of the states that okay, the board came on saying that they're coming back. Um, anyway, anything I say is not legal advice, should not be construed as legal advice. Do not act upon it. And it says I'm connected, but yet. All right, we're back in Toledo, Ohio. So anyway, do not take anything I say as legal advice. This time I'm going to be eating some. All right, so what I've got now is I have the TV on and I'm watching live, and I've also got it streaming on my iPad, and the streaming is about 10 seconds behind. And I'm also going to be eating my potato chips because this is a long show. All right, so they're Toledo, Ohio for some reason, and don't know why, but they're now searching a car. All right, it says responding to domestic incident. So here's my question. If you're responding to domestic incident, why are you searching the car? My guess is they asked to search the car and the idiot said, yeah, that's fine. Let me explain something to you folks. Never, ever, ever consent to a search of your vehicle. If the police are asking to search, that means you say no. I don't care how clean you are. I don't care if you were in the car as it was coming off the assembly line and they stopped you before it left the building and they want to search it. Never let them search your car. Now the dude is cuffed and he is going to the pokey. All right, that's one of them fuck around find outs. What the officer just said is dude called the police trying to get her in trouble, claimed that she was pointing a gun at him. However, there's no gun there. And more importantly, he had outstanding warrants. So he's going to the pokey, and it sounds like he's going to get an added charge of abuse of a 911 call. Which I'll be honest, I don't have much sympathy for people charged with abuse of a 911 call. I, of course, will defend everybody to the best of my ability, but people call 911 for the craziest stuff. We've seen on Live PD them calling 911 because they didn't get enough chicken nuggets. Now, come on, folks. First of all, that ain't a police call. But if you are going to call the police, it ain't 911. All right, for those who checked your time with me earlier, I'm now going to be responding to the live stream. And it's a good 15 seconds behind the direct TV stream. And I'm doing that because for people who might be interested to sync the two, you can sync something that I'm further behind on, but you can't sync something that I'm way ahead of. So, and Dan Abrams just said the exact same thing I did. What are you doing calling 911 when you got warrants out for you? Back to Daytona. All right, they found some crack pipes in the car with the $30,000 cash. All right, so now the officer is asking the guy about the drugs that are in his pocket. Now, the police are very tricky. They get you to admit what kind of drugs it is. And the reason for that is the drug not being a drug is not necessarily a defense to every drug charge. So if you admit that, yeah, that's some of the meth, that's some cocaine or whatever, if something goes wrong with the crime lab testing, there's still a way they can prosecute and convict you. So if you're riding dirty and the popo stops you, you admitting to what kind of drugs it is does nothing for you. It will not help you. Getting a crack pipe out of the pocket. Now, I tell you what, now I like this shirtless guy. This shirtless guy is keeping his pie hole shut. As well, you all should if the popo got you. If you are in cuffs, your lips should not be moving. And my man, the shirtless dude, has not said a word since I've seen him. Now, okay, there he goes. He's just so the officer, yeah, we found this, we found that, we found this, and the shirtless dude says, "Well, the open container was mine." Just don't admit to anything, folks. Now they're doing the sympathy route. Oh man, you need some help. Once again, man, they dig, they dig, they dig. They want those admissions, and they're going to say things to you to try to get you to trick you to think they sympathize with you. And look, many of them do. I'm not saying that all the cops are heartless and they don't sympathize with you. My guess is they mostly do. They're almost all humans, but they still got a job to do. Now we're back to the stolen semi. So the stolen trailer was the popo didn't update the fact that the trailer wasn't stolen anymore. So let me tell you what I do in that as part of my practice. Whenever I have a client that has a warrant for their arrest and we get that warrant lifted for whatever reason, I always give my client a copy of that warrant being lifted. And the reason for that is for something exactly like this. They get for whatever reason, the computer doesn't get updated. You run into it and you get pulled over. And this guy's been sitting on the side of the road now for at least 30 minutes in handcuffs. Yeah, in the end, all's fine and dandy, but he's lost 30 minutes of drive time. And, as you know, truck drivers have a certain amount of time they're allowed to drive. Obviously, the inconvenience and everything. Not to mention the danger to everybody. So in a situation like this, if I were the trucking company, what I would have done is if I had reported the trailer stolen and then later discovered it was not stolen or was recovered for whatever reason, I would want a copy of that report saying this is no longer stolen and let the driver have that with him at all times. Just as I tell my clients, keep this copy of the warrant being vacated with you at all times for at least the next week or two to make sure the computers get updated. If you do get stopped, they will figure it out, but you're going to have the inconvenience. All right, for sync purposes, we just pulled up to Fullerton, California. All right, they're following a truck. All right, I don't know what started this, but they're treating this like a felony stop, but I didn't see anything to make them think that. I don't know if they got a hit on the tag or something. All right, this officer's telling the passenger quit reaching around. Furtive movements is what we call that. If the police have you at gunpoint, don't move around. It's a good way to get shot. It's a better way to really piss off the police. I still don't know what this is about. All right, they got the driver on the ground, but they still haven't ordered the passenger out of the car. I don't know. They might be waiting for backup before they get the passenger out. And there's two officers on scene. One guy's in cuffs. He ain't going anywhere. All right, for time sync purposes, they just went to Nevada. All right, they're responding to a crash. And at the crash, somebody ran out into the desert. For some reason, a witness is following him or tracking him. I don't know which. I didn't quite get that. Looks like a single vehicle crash to me. So this one's from Nye County, Nevada. For those who don't watch this all the time, they've said it on numerous occasions that Nye County, Nevada is the largest county in the country. And they just pointed out that one officer asked the other officer, "You got anybody else coming?" And he said, "No, we've tried." It says it's 107 degrees there. Dan just said what I just said. Dan just said, it's a big, big county. Sometimes when they call for backup, they can't get it. I should take Dan's job. It looks like they're about to go to commercial. All right, for time sync purposes, went to commercial. That's pretty funny. The commercial that just come on, and Chuck Gass says that he's watching. The commercial that just came on was for Apoquel, which is a prescription that I need for my dog. My vet told me that sometimes you can get it cheap at pharmacies or Walmart, but it's real expensive at their facility. And so I went to Chuck Gass's place yesterday, and they told me it'd be $100 for 30 pills. I was like, I don't like my dog that much. But I probably will. But I am going to shop around first. All right, we're on break. I'm gonna eat a little bit and step off to the side, so you don't have to watch me shove my pie hole full of potato chips. But when they come back from commercial, I'll be back. All right, my same disclaimer. Though I am a criminal defense attorney, I'm not your attorney. I'm not licensed in any of the states that are depicted on OPLive. My entire purpose here is just to give commentary and opinion, but under no circumstance should you ever take this as legal advice for you or anything like that. If you do, you deserve the ill consequences that you will get. You can use my comments to speak to your lawyer. For sync purposes, we just got back to Nye County, Nevada. So here we go. Showtime. All right, just catch up. They're investigating an accident. They're looking for somebody who ran after crashing the car. I'm unclear if the accident caused any damage to anybody's property other than the one fleeing. But we'll find out soon. All right, they got out to the desert. Now they got this woman in a red dress. Maybe they'll find Walter White pretty soon. Yeah. This lady just told the police, "You're going to have to run." I was a police. I'd have told her, "You run, fatty. I ain't running." So the officers are asking for other people to come because they don't want to deal with this. And again, I don't know the exact point of it. If he wrecked into somebody else's car and fled the scene, then that's a felony in a lot of states. So chasing a felon is a valid thing. But when they show the accident, it looks like that cop just about busted it. It looked like he just crashed into a ditch on his own. But all right, we're going back to Fullerton. Time sync now. All right, so they are waiting for backup so they can get the passenger out of the car. All right, for those who need to be caught up, the driver is out of the car. He is there. He was in cuffs. He's now in cuffs. He was not in cuffs earlier. Now he's in cuffs. All right, the passenger said, "I'm getting out." Oh, she's on fire. She's pissed. And here she goes. Boom! Look, folks. When the cops been holding you at gunpoint for the past 5 minutes, getting out and running at them is not a wise choice. She got slammed to the ground. We might get to see some boobs. That's always my favorite part of the show. Now backup has arrived. 2 cars. All right, so this is why I have this. This is why I'm doing my show. So this woman is now yelling at the police. Quit grabbing me! Quit grabbing! First of all, lady, if you'd have stayed in the car, they wouldn't have grabbed you. Watch where you grab me. You're a man. Watch where you grab me. You're a man. Hey, look, you don't know that. He can identify as a woman. You don't know. All right, they still have their attention on the car. They must think there's somebody else in the car. Yes, there's a back passenger. All right, so this is another textbook felony stop. Exit the car, hands up, facing away from us, and walk backwards. It's years of study, training, and experience got to this. I still don't know what the original purpose of this stop was. Because of the way they're treating everybody in the car, I assume that it's known wanted felons in the car or reported stolen car. So far, 3 people are out of this pickup truck, and they still have guns pointed at the truck, so they believe there's another. All right, it looks like they've cleared it. All right, we're going back to Nye County, largest county in the country. They need a drone. That's what they need. Drone. I got some commentary coming in that the reason of that stop in Fullerton is that when they ran the tag, it came back to a gray Honda Accord, not a red pickup truck. That's, I mean, I don't know if that's a felony stop or not. I mean, it's the wrong tag, clearly, but whatever. I'm not going to second guess their job. If they're my clients, I might second guess it. These Nye County people, I don't understand them. They're just, we got to get some more exciting stops. Looks like they're about to go back to Fullerton, so that's good. Some action. All right, female's getting arrested for obstruction. She calls that on her own. Male's getting arrested for having a nitrous tank, and they don't know what they're going to do with the third one. All right, they just asked for consent to search the car. I would say no to that. Never, ever, ever allow. All right, so this is great. So he just asked the owner of the vehicle, is it okay if I search your car? Now, I don't know what the law is of nitrous oxide tanks in Nevada, of course, or California, wherever they are. But if that's an illegal substance, then if they're arresting for that, they're usually allowed to go ahead and search it anyway. But they ask for that consent. So that way, if they're not allowed to search it and they get the consent, everything they're allowed to, that they find, they can still use. They asked for consent. She said no. And then what did they do? Ran to the truck to search it some more. So once again, if they're asking you, you say no. If they're allowed to, for one of the many reasons that they're allowed to, they're going to anyway. Always say no. But now they're searching it. I would presume search incident to arrest because they found an illegal nitrous tank in there, or search an inventory search because it looks like that the owner of the vehicle, she said it was hers, is being arrested, so they probably have to tow the car. I don't know if they're required to give an opportunity for somebody to come pick it up. And though that was on private property, it was clearly blocking access to whoever would have rented those storage units. So they had plenty of reasons that they could have searched the vehicle without her permission, but they still searched it. I doubt that you misheard earlier. All right, we're at commercial now, so I'm gonna add some more potato chips, but I'll go off screen as to not bother you with it. I'll get a sign made next time that says currently in commercial, so you don't know where I am. Not that you care. Okay, I'm about to come back. We'll do a sync check here in just a second. All right, the disclaimer card is up. Once again, I'm an attorney. I'm not your attorney. I'm not licensed in any of the states. Anything I say is just live commentary. Do not take it as legal advice. All right, so some witness said that after the wreck, the driver took off with something that looked like drugs. I tell you what, these nosy people, just mind your own business. Now they're claiming that they believe the person is injured, so that's why they want to search for him. They want to search for him because the witness said she thinks he's holding drugs. Brookford, North Carolina. All right, so she had a pill container and she said it was Tylenol, and he's asking, what do you need Tylenol for? Just don't answer these questions, folks. It's none of your business. None of the cost business why you need Tylenol. A big old dude. That's a real big dude. It sounds to me like the guy who's talking to the popo is snitching. Snitches get stitches. We all know that. I don't get that. He said, if it's in the car, I'll find it. That's the truth. All right, so this is listed as a traffic stop. I don't know who's driving. All right, something about a gun. She has a gun. How will they know it's stolen? Crime of the night. That's the fun part. All right, no commentary needed. Crime of the night, Pursuit. 100 episodes worth. Here we go. Showtime. Oh, yeah, that dude right there sitting on top of the car. That's a dumbass. He drove through a fence. I love when the tires come off. Dude was shooting through his own windshield. Jackpot. Dude, head on. Dude was going backwards. Why y'all run from the police, man? I'll never get that. You can't be running from the police. You might run away from the police, but you ain't run away from Motorola. Domino's driver. Your pizza's late. That was a couple weeks ago. That's a good one. Dude Dude rolled over. He's still getting out to run. God love him. This guy running with a limp. Broke his leg and he's running. I ain't got no pants on. She's running. God love her. That's like a clown car. Right, 20 people come out of that car. That dude tried to run on a skateboard. That dude caught on fire. That guy said, I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's what you get for running, boys. You can't be running. Introducing a new segment, On Patrol Triple Play. You send in your own videos. Yeah, nothing go wrong with that. So I'm going to show 3 videos. Viewers decide which one's the best, vote on it. It's like American Idol. That semi was head on, bitches. There's a bobcat. That was the Georgia ramp. Who wants to watch a baby anymore? Nobody. Going to Brookford. Oh, now Big Daddy is in some cuffs. Got some new jewelry. All right, so what he said there, this is interesting. So nobody's taking ownership of the gun, which is a wise thing to do, especially if you don't know whose gun it is. If it's stolen, you take ownership of it. You got it. You go into the clink. But what the officers are allowed to do, especially with guns, and this is true with drugs in most cases too, if it's within your arm's reach, and that does not mean the measurement of your arms, that's a different type of term, and I'll explain that in a second. But if it's within your arm's reach, you can be arrested for having possession of that gun. In many states, the driver of the car is assumed to have possession of everything in that car. The passengers are assumed to have possession of anything within their arm's reach. Now, arm's reach can be debated. The easy example is you're in a big expedition. If you're in the front seat and the gun's in the back of it, that's not arm's reach. The driver's still possession of it because he or she's the one driving the car. But in a little sedan, 4-door sedan, if it's in that cab, it's probably an arm's reach, even if you can't physically reach it. You absolutely argue to the jury it's not within arm's reach, um, and depending on how your state interprets that and what kind of jury instruction you get, you might be able to beat it if you're in the passenger seat and the gun is in the, back window or something like that. But that's why all three of these people are getting arrested, because all three of them are in the car and nobody's saying it's their gun. And that woman is having a fit. She keeps saying, "It ain't my gun, it ain't my gun." Being adamant about it's not going to help your situation. I'm all for your denial. Deny it. Make sure you deny it. Or better yet, just keep your mouth shut. And then, but continuing to yell, "It ain't mine," is not going to have the officers all of a sudden say, "Oh, yeah, okay, it ain't yours? Okay, well, I'm still going to charge you, but since you said it 67 times, I'll let you go." Doesn't work that way. All right, this is them negotiating and trying to trick you. So what he's saying, if y'all want to talk to me, I'm interpreting that to mean if somebody wants to claim ownership of the gun, and maybe we can talk to the boss and see what we can do. And that's inferring if somebody takes ownership of it, the other two can go. My favorite words from the popo during arrest: just be honest. Just be honest. Keep your pie hole shut. Keep the pie hole shut. Those of you just joining me, just say, no, I've got two cameras. This is the YouTube channel camera right here. This is the Facebook camera right there. And then I'm watching it down here on the iPad. Then I have a monitor back up there that's also on. So I know when the commercials and stuff are coming and going. You will never talk yourself out of a charge. The more you talk, the worse it gets. Once the police decide to charge you, you're not going to talk yourself out. This woman's flapping her jaws again. Shut your pie hole, woman. And they said, I'm just rolling the windows up. All right, looks like we're going to commercial, so I'm going to step aside and take a break. All right, 10:15. What I'm going to do at 10:30 is I'm going to end the Facebook video and restart it, just to limit the time of the video, so the video will just be about 90 minutes. The YouTube one, I think, is unlimited. I'm going to let it keep rolling again. This is kind of a test, see how it works. We'll be back. So, peace out.
Only one on Fraley, left-handed hitter. Randy Miller sets and delivers.
Hello.
Second time to receive it back is your quick.
All right, about to come back from commercial once again. I'm a lawyer, and I'm not your lawyer. I'm not licensed in any of the states that are controlled by OPLive. I'm here to give commentary and opinion about what's going on. If your situation is similar to what's going on this TV, on this show, you can take my comments and share them with your lawyer. For time sync purposes, we're right after warning right now with a disclaimer from OPLive. But under no circumstances should you act upon just what I say. Act upon what your attorney says about your situation. All right, we're back in Brookford. Looks like they're letting some people walk away. Now, to add to this, I now have the baseball game going on because I ain't going to miss the Reds game down on the West Coast. And the Reds are up 3-0. Two people arrested because neither one claimed the gun. They both can get convicted of possessing the same gun, depending on the circumstances. All right. This earlier, Berkeley County, South Carolina. And they found a bull. This dude's stuck in the tree. You know, I get worried if my Great Danes get out. That dude's got bulls running around. She said, "Go away, you stupid animal." I'd say filet mignon, baby. Now the cops out here making jokes about hit and run. Come on, nobody cares. That bull is mad. I'd say just strap him onto it. Lasso. Man, I put a cap in that ass. The owner of the bulls come. He ain't got no lasso. He ain't got no horse. He just walking there shirtless with a pistol. Do the bulls know if the pistol's there to not act up? If my two dogs were loose, I wouldn't go get them without a leash. This man came to get two bulls. He like the bull whisperer. The bull's just following him. Hey, you got the gun? I'll follow you. What's up with that? This is not very exciting. Dude, popping a cap. Oh yeah, I don't know what that was all about. They got the bulls, and then dude, whoa, there's a big one with no shirt on. That's what my belly looks like when I be out there walking no shirt on. Nope, 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 nope. All right, we're about to go back to Nye County, I believe. Do our sync. Back to Dan. All right, here we go. All right, going back to Nye County. This is the accident. Witness said, "Oh, I think he had drugs and he took off running." Whatever that means. Now, let me tell you something. If this guy, who's now been in the desert for at least an hour, if not more, if they roll up on him and he's got drugs on him, then he deserves to go to jail. Because, dude, you had an hour in the desert to hide your drugs. You got them hands up, got the phone in one hand. What you got, baby? Talk to me. .103 is the temperature. So, I'll tell you a funny story. I had a client. We had a hearing, and the officer was testifying. It's called a preliminary hearing. It's the first hearing that you have aside from your initial appearance. And the officer is testifying, and he said, and because of a language barrier, I couldn't do this or I couldn't do that. And so I turned to my client and say, "Hey, do you understand English? Do I need to get you a translator?" They said, "No, I understand English just fine." All right, looks like we're about to go to commercial break according to Dan Abrams. I'm going to take a break too. Showtime. Be right back. Hello. Damn it, Reds. Okay, looks like we're back. We got their disclaimer, so I'll give mine. I'm a lawyer in Georgia. I'm not a lawyer for you. I'm not licensed in any state that is being shown on TV. Everything I say is my opinion. If you find yourself in a similar situation, you should talk to your lawyer. You're welcome to tell your lawyer what I said, and your lawyer might tell you he's brilliant or he's an idiot. Whatever he says, you should follow. We're in Berkeley County, South Carolina. Heading to a drive-by shooting. All right, traffic stop. More shirtless people. But in fairness, it's probably 100 degrees. So, the only reason I'm not shirtless is trying to gain viewers, not lose viewers. All right, so he has a warrant for failure to appear, a bench warrant. Look, you got to show up to court, guys. I don't believe any district attorney's office would admit this, but I've seen it too many times for this not to be true. Sometimes if they've got a case that they don't necessarily think they can win, maybe because they have a witness problem, maybe because they believe there is reasonable doubt, but they're not willing to drop it for whatever reason, they just keep delaying it and delaying it and delaying it, hoping that you will one day miss a court date. Because once you miss a court date, then they get to arrest you, get to be put in jail for failure to appear. They get to portray you to the judge as somebody who doesn't respect the authority of the court. Therefore, you should be held in jail until your trial comes. And that's how they get a plea out of you. Again, nobody will admit that's their strategy, but I 100% believe it. Now, there are things your attorney can do to stop that. They can file demands for speedy trials, which means that if they don't have the trial within a certain period of time, the charge is automatically dismissed. That's available in some states. Georgia's one of them. But there are limitations to that. I've got a client right now. She's been on the calendar. I believe we're now about to hit our third or fourth year. And I think we'll win the trial. State's not willing to drop the case, but they won't bring it to trial either. So I just tell my client, don't miss a court date. Because as soon as she does, they're going to get a bench warrant and they'll keep her in jail until she pleads. So anyway, that guy was getting arrested for failure to appear. Could have been a little traffic violation. Could have been murder. I don't know what it's for. All right, here's drive-by shooting. They found a shell casing. Now, I'm going to tell you something about shell casings. I have a hard time finding my empties when I go to the firing range. I don't know how these police find them just in the grass on the side of the road half the time. I'm going to eat some chips while we're talking. I assume he's looking for more shell casings. I think people here watched enough CSI to know the importance of finding the casings. Hey, dude burped. I'm sitting here drinking Coca-Cola, so who am I to talk? So I don't want to lose this dart. I don't know what a dart is. So I'm sure somebody will explain it. Mr. Shirtless. This guy's a failure to appear warrant. And once again, I'm sure it's human nature, but you ain't gonna talk your way out of it, guys. Just wear your new jewelry, go get booked, and get out. But if they got a warrant on you, they're taking you. They have to. It's the law. They have to take you to jail. It's an order from the governor or the. Well, if it's failure to appear, it could be from the governor. But 8. This dude has 8 warrants. He needs to shut his pie hole because there's no way you don't know that you have 8 warrants for your arrest. I do believe my clients sometimes when they said they didn't know they had a warrant for their arrest, especially if it's a failure to appear, especially since COVID. That it used to be you knew exactly when your next court date was, but during COVID and immediately after COVID, and even to some extent now, they're just saying they'll mail you notice and why you should have your address updated. I understand things get lost in the mail. This guy has 8 warrants. He knows he has a warrant. He's going to the clink. Now, what they're waiting on, just so you know, is even though they know they have warrants, they have to confirm that the warrants are still valid. And for that, they have to talk to a real person in most jurisdictions. All right, we're headed to Brookford. And this is one of my pet peeves. This guy's just on his bike, and the popo rolls up on him just to talk to him. And he says he's walking down the middle of the road. That's a different story, I guess. But what we saw, he's on the side. Where are you headed? Just engaging in conversation, getting you to say something that you'll regret. What you doing tonight? Don't answer that. It's not true. Now, in that regard, you do have to have a light. If you're going to be driving on the road, you got to have a light. No, all in all, that wasn't a bad interaction. But A lot of times they'll ask to search them. They'll ask to search their bags. But to each his own. All right, now we got one of these fur baby helmets. Police do not like that. Oh, going to commercial. I missed that one completely. All right. I have it on good authority that you can see the shell casings very easy in that shorter grass. Okay. I've never looked for them, so I'm going to step aside and watch a little bit of the Reds while we're on commercial. All right, we're about to come back. Once again, I am a defense attorney. I'm not your attorney. I'm not licensed in any of the states depicted on OPLive. For sync purposes, the screen for the warning of OPLive is on. Anything I say is just my opinion. If anything happens on TV that's similar to your case, you can take what I say and tell your lawyer about it. You should only act in accordance with what your lawyer says. All right, they're still looking for more shell casings, I assume. So I have nothing exciting there. Can I give myself stars? Uh-oh. I think I turned off my Facebook video and started it back. Sorry. So they shot 7 times, but they found 8 casings. That's why you can never rely on eyewitness testimony. Excess baggage. Weaving and crossing the line. Notice multiple duffel bags laying across the back seat. Because when people travel, they never pack with duffel bags. Hey, Dustin's in the house. He must be back from a gig. All right, so he says there's something in the car shouldn't be. She said, I don't know. I didn't touch it. Just say no. All right, this is the exact reason I wanted to do this show. He just said we're going to sit here and wait for the dog. No, you cannot wait for the dog to get there for your probable cause. So, if they had a different reason to hold her, and the dog came while they're holding her for that reason, that's fine. But if I was her attorney, I'd have a field day with that comment. We're going to wait here for the dog. It is completely illegal to make a traffic stop longer than it needs to be for the purpose of waiting on the drug dog. And if what we're seeing here on the video is the true story of everything that happened and the complete story, then this enormous bust of marijuana, this woman would make Cheech and Chong blush. There's so much marijuana. It's all going to get thrown out. It's all going to get thrown out on illegal search because, number one, she did not give consent to search. They pulled her over because she was weaving. They saw duffel bags in the back of her car. Duffel bags are not illegal in any shape, form, or fashion. And then he said, we're going to wait here until the dogs get here. This absolutely, from what we can see on this screen, on this show, is a illegal search. And this absolutely is a winnable case for her defense attorney. Now, some things that could have happened during the editing that we didn't see that would change the facts. If he said, "Hey, I could smell something," that gives him probable cause to search. And with as much marijuana as there's there, I wouldn't doubt that. God, that's a lot of marijuana. Oh my gosh. I hope you're watching this show tonight. Yes, illegal detainment. I mean, that's not the exact phrase, but that's absolutely what it is. God, that's a lot of marijuana. But that his comment is the key thing that her attorney is going to focus in on. His comment of, "We're going to wait here for the drug dog." It could have written the ticket for the illegal weaving, for the failure to maintain lane. Those are not arrestable offenses. She did not appear to be under the influence. He never accused her of being under the influence. Absolutely, that case should get thrown out. All right, back to Nye County with shots fired. All right, so I pay attention to what the questions asked. The officer is interested if there's any type of farming operations on the property they want to go on to. That makes me think in Nevada that if the land's being used for some type of farming, then the rules are different as far as can they go and investigate shots fired or something. Going to a break. Be right back.
Is this part of your lighting?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care, but if it's not, I would like it off, but.
Right.
Are you sure? Well, turn it back on if it messes it up. No, I kept leaving it on, it got too dark.
Well, I don't know about a shower unless you're implying that I need one, but I do have to get up and stretch my legs. I'm not good at sitting down for long periods of time. And this show's been on since 9 o'clock. For those who want to know what's going on, this is just my live commentary on the OPLive TV show. This is the first attempt at it. I'm just testing it out. I've got 2 cameras going. I got one for Facebook, and I got one for YouTube. I don't know if one's better than the other. Oh, I heard the water. Yeah, I had to rinse off the dish before I put it in the dishwasher. But I don't know if I'll always do 2 streams. One thing I will do next time is put the cameras right on top of each other so I don't have to keep looking back and forth. Might need to find a way to turn off the microphone so during commercial breaks you don't hear my water running or family conversations going on. If I had an air conditioner in the basement, I would broadcast from there. But that is out of our budget right now. All right, they're about to come back on. Once again, I am an attorney. I'm a defense attorney, criminal defense attorney. But I'm not your attorney. And I'm not licensed in any of the states that are being shown on OPLive. And all of my commentary is just my opinion. If any of these situations are similar to your situation, you should not go by what I'm saying here. You should talk to your attorney. You can certainly tell your attorney what I pontificated. For sync purposes, their disclaimer is showing up on the screen right now. And your attorney can tell you how stupid I am or how smart I am, whatever there is compared to your case. So now we're back in Nye County investigating gunshots in the middle of the desert, in the middle of farms. I don't know why the sound of gunfire in a situation like that warrants police investigation, but maybe there's something more to it of which I'm unaware currently. And the Reds are up 3-1. Anybody cares? I don't get it. I don't get the investigating just the sound of gunshots in the middle of the desert near farms. I mean, but to each their own. Richland County, one of my favorite counties on this show. And they're going to see Officer Brown. I don't know if it's the white Brown or the black Brown. Both of them are great, though. It's like the white Brown. This guy is great. Of the officers that I keep up with and kind of keep a mental scorecard, he's probably the one that I don't recall many mistakes that he makes. He's generally very fair. He's very firm. And he knows his community. I respect a lot of stuff that he does. So he just saw her smoking marijuana and he told her, drop it. She said, I ain't take one more hit. This woman's crazy. I love her. Hey, she said, you would cheat on your wife with me. I'm as bad as they come. So she just told the police that she called the police or the feds because she wanted the real dope. And so she tried to buy some. If he's talking about methamphetamine, that's true in Georgia. Any amount, even the residue left over in a crack pipe, is a felony in Georgia, even if it's unusable. So the test that he just talked about, we've done tests before, and we've tested oregano, sugar, just all kinds of different substances, foods, and whatnot, and have gotten positive results on all of those at one time or the other. Those test results from what the cops do on the side are not admissible in court. They are not scientific. They are enough to give probable cause, so they can get you arrested. But what a lot of people don't know is they're not admissible. But when they test positive, the cops will then say, "So this says it's meth. Is this meth?" And you go, "Yeah, it's meth." Now, even if it's not meth, or even if they don't get a good crime lab test, they in some states they can use your admission that it's meth as the evidence that it's meth, or at least that you thought it was meth. And in some cases, it doesn't matter if the substance is real or not. If you thought it was real, it's enough to convict you in some instances. So even if even if you get tested on the side of the road for drugs like that, it's not conclusive and is not admissible in court. But it is enough to get probable cause, so the police can arrest you if it comes back positive. All right, they're in Fulton, California. The the headline at the bottom says possible vandalism. And it sounds like some mental guy kicked the door, caused some damage. So that's going to get the police attention. Now, look, I don't have the answers for it, but when the people talk about the police needing more help or even defund police, what some people are talking about is a situation like that. It doesn't require police involvement. This guy needs mental help. back to Toledo with shirtless 8 warrants guy. 8 warrants. So this guy got pulled over for not using a turn signal. Yes, but anyway, he's got a warrant he has 8 warrants, one of them out of Wyandotte County. And I know a little bit about Ohio to tell you that distance between Toledo and Wyandotte's about, I don't know, probably about 100 miles or less, maybe. As the crow flies, I'm not positive on the roads to get there. So he's going to the clink to be held for those warrants. All right, so now they're arresting the mentally ill guy. And again, I'm not saying that you commit a crime, you're going to get arrested, but this is where we are lacking, is what to do with these mentally ill people. And maybe he's just high. Maybe he doesn't have a mental problem. And if you purposely got high, then you suffer the consequences of it. Felony vandalism is what he's going to jail for. Don't know. Man, another break. A lot of extra commercials on 100th anniversary night. All right. We'll be back. All right, looks like we're back. Once again, my disclaimer, though I am an attorney, I'm not your attorney. I'm not licensed in any of the states that OPLive is in. If any of your situations or your friend's situation is similar to what's on here, what I say here does not apply to you. You should always talk to your own lawyer. You can tell your lawyer what I said. For sync purposes, OPLive is showing their disclaimer right now. But nothing I say should be taken as legal advice. Daytona Beach, first time we've seen them tonight. Burglary in process. If I have any law students watching this, you might be saying it can't be a burglary. It's a business. Different states have different laws. I think most states now have a burglary statute that applies to businesses. It might change the degree. If I recall correctly, in Georgia, if it's a business, I think that knocks it down to second degree. Ooh, they passed the Krispy Kreme donuts. All right, it's just them driving there. All right, so it sounds like it's a storage facility, which would change the analysis as far as your exposure and stuff. All right, so this is going to go back to not live. Homicide suspect they're probably trying to apprehend. Put them hands up, boys. Here we go. All right, so once again, I don't understand people now. You got 7 or 8 police officers surrounding you at gunpoint, yelling to put your hands up, and you're worried about why. Look, at this point in time, comply. There's time enough to argue about what happened. If they're in the wrong, we can fix it later. But you yelling at them ain't going to help anything. Especially in today's day and age. There's so many devices recording, whether it be audio or video or both, that the chances of there not being some type of documentation of it are pretty low. And there's a kid in the car. I mean, come on. They got a baby in the car and you're arguing with the police when they have their guns drawn on you. All right, so this dude, he just said anything in the car, everything in the car is mine. If it's illegal, it's mine. Clearly trying to save her. Noble thing, of course. and obviously his goal is to allow her to be set free so that she can be with what I'm assuming is their baby. And while I was blabbing, I missed what was said. I think they're going to. I think they're executing a search warrant on the house. All right, now I don't know. So let me tell you this. So he's calling it a protective sweep of that house, which tells me that this is their house. They just happen to catch him in their car outside. If they did not have a search warrant for that house, they can't go in there. But I think that they said they had a search warrant. But then when they said they had a protective sweep, it made me think. I've actually got a case like that going on right now where the officers claim it was a protective sweep, and during the sweep, they found what they believed to be contraband. My position is that they had no right to go in the house. There's no reason for a protective sweep. We got Spider-Man here climbing the fence, going over the barbed wire. All right, this one, they got a canine on the scene. Now, that canine technology has changed a lot. I didn't know this. They no longer have to sniff the garments of the person they're looking for. They're actually trained to search for new scent. So in a situation like this, they can just let that canine free if they would quit walking around and muddying the waters, and that dog would find where somebody is. Oh, Richland County. I think it's the first time we've been live with Richmond tonight. This girl's a firecracker. All right, they got people looking out the windows. That's not who I thought it was. I mean, she might still be a firecracker, I don't know, but it's not the woman who I thought it was. Dude, that officer right there looks like the guy from jury duty who wanted to become a robot, and he kept getting different apparatuses attached to his body. If you haven't seen the streaming show Jury Duty, it's on TV or Freevee, something like that. You get on Amazon streaming. Well worth your time. It's 8 episodes, 7 episodes, something like that. But that looks just like him. It's great. All right. So let's say that what's going on right here in Daytona, let's pretend for a second it doesn't end in an arrest. Look at all this time and all this resources that's being used to search for that because somebody thought there's somebody there. Until I started watching the show and became friends with a lot of officers, this is the type of stuff you don't appreciate. I mean, we all know the cops sitting on the side of the car, on the side of the road, shooting radar, waiting to get speeding tickets, but you just don't realize this kind of stuff that they're doing. Another commercial. Come on, man. You're getting the money's worth from the advertisers. All right, we're going to take a break. Reds is top of the fifth inning. 3-2 Reds, 2 outs. Looks like L.A. De La Cruz is very upset about something. I didn't see what happened or didn't happen. All right, we've invited the dogs in. I don't know if they're going to get on the screen or not. Once again, the disclaimer, I am an attorney. I'm not your attorney. I'm not licensed in any of the states that are being depicted on OPLive. For sync purposes, there are disclaimers on the screen right now. Anything I say is just my opinion as I see it and based on the facts as I see them. I don't know all the facts. If you find yourself in a similar situation as any of the people in this show, what I say should not be used in your case. And if you try to use it, you're pretty stupid. So they appear this is a domestic dispute. I don't know if this is the same ones that were before commercial break or not. Can't tell. You're gonna hear sounds in the background now. It's my dog's playing with their toys. Have to bring them in because there's a family of foxes outside that cause them to go crazy at night. The report of a woman trying to run over a man. Back to Nye County, the largest county in the country. Burglary in progress. So they're talking about their new mugs. Like, I wonder if they're going to send me one. And then when I have my Coca-Cola. Two parents and the teenage son. This is not live. We're live, but we're watching now. It's recorded earlier. Now, I don't know about this. They said they're leaving because people were calling racial slurs to them. I ain't going to justify using racial slurs on anybody, but these people got a mental problem. There's a mental issue going on. Your job is to take care of the sick people. This is Molly, for those who don't know about my dogs. Your son wants you as a father, not as a dumbass. Could be one and the same. Shake. So now the teenager said to the police, y'all need to get off my property. That's not how it works. Now the woman's telling the officer not to scream at her. This is gonna get fun. He's running away, like physically running. I don't really get the point of why we had to watch that one tonight. That wasn't worth interrupting. Molly. Molly. The hell's this guy got? Dude is wearing a poop bag. He's got a poop bag on him. Of all the people that don't need to be shirtless, this is the guy that needs to have a shirt on. He's wearing a poop bag. He's wearing a poop bag. Oh, God love him. To each their own, man. I'm sure one day I'll have one. But if I have a poop bag, I promise you I'll always have my shirt on. Hell, I already have my shirt on anyway. My dog is looking at me like, who the hell are you talking to, man? I should start adding the dog's vocabulary into my things. Like, okay, go to bed. You go outside? All right, so what we got here? Rolling up on a car. I don't know if it's a camera angle or if that car just doesn't have a license plate. Oh, report of a fight. Here we go. Showtime. All right, that officer told that car not to leave, and now the car's pulling out. That car's got a problem. If the popo tells you to stay, comply, comply, comply. So here's the problem. Even if the people who just drove away, if they're the ones in the right, they didn't do anything wrong, they're already starting out in the bad light from the popo. So on the scene, the popo's got to evaluate the situation. They have to make decisions on who's more believable. And if you're the one running, you're less likely to be believed. All right, so see, this guy's just being cryptic. I don't get it. He called the police. The police are there, and now he says, I don't need your help. or y'all already know what's going on. I ain't going to go over it again. Here's where the action is. What do you want, dog? Stop it, Jerry. There we go. You're in cuffs. Now you want to fight the police. That ain't going to end well for you. That ain't going to end well for you. Got to get in a break, of course. Actually, it's probably good timing. My dog is apparently afraid of her reflection in the front window. I'll go take care of that, and we'll be back. All right, once again, I am an attorney. I am not your attorney. I am not licensed in any of the states that OPLive broadcasts from. If you find yourself in a similar situation as what's being depicted here, do not rely upon anything that I've said tonight. I do not know all the facts, and I'm just free thinking. If you use what I say, you'll probably go to prison forever. All right, for sync purposes, the OPLive disclaimers on their screen right now at the roughly 11:45 p.m. mark. I believe we'll have one more commercial break. Back in Wilkes-Barre, God love him. I love it. Report of a fight, and in his effort to convince the police he was not involved in the fight, he has already tried to fight the police once, and now is yelling and disobeying their lawful commands. This guy said, if you act like an adult and a human being, you'll get out. He said, I just went to go see candy for my kids. Yeah, look, I don't know if it's true or not. It's not believable at 11:45 at night. It's Chris Rock. I don't know why these people think that the officers can listen to 4 people at one time. Shut your pie hole. Exciting Friday night. I missed that. That's a good one. I'm going to Toledo, Ohio again. Oh, I see. You're talking about the picture you sent me. All right, they're in pursuit. These are sometimes fun. Once again, you're never going to outrun Motorola. I'll say that, and this is not legal advice, but I did win a trial on fleeing. The only evidence the state had was video, an admission, and they caught the guy. That's all they had. But the jury came back not guilty. It's a very unique situation, so don't think that if you flee from the cops, all you gotta do is hire Jeremy Jones to get you out of it. That was a very, very unique and specific situation that I got a not guilty verdict. And the questions that's been coming out recently, I say recently, it's been going on for years now, but it's getting more and more scrutiny, is when is it appropriate to chase somebody like this? Obvious. If the police see you kill somebody or something, they're going to chase you forever. If you shoot at the police, they're going to chase you forever. But expire tag and then you take off. I mean, he took off from a traffic stop. I certainly don't subscribe to the idea that you don't chase for anything. But I mean, they're going through neighborhoods, 1-lane roads. Guy got here and he bailed. Now he's running. all the danger that is currently being shown is clearly the fault of the guy running. Okay. But just thinking from an intellectual point of view, is all that danger worth capturing this guy for? At this point in time, they only know it to be a traffic violation. And I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make those decisions. I think it's always a case by case decision, and you can be right 999 times, but if you're wrong that one time and it kills an innocent person or causes serious damage, then what do you do? So what I have found in my experience, something like that, where this guy just gave up, at some point in time, when in his rearview mirror he didn't see the cops, something was thrown out the window. If they find any drugs on him at this point, he's an idiot. He's already proved he's pretty stupid by running, but dude was jamming. Got some busybodies staring out that door. I know I would have been if it was in my house. Did your camera catch him getting out of the car? Snitches get stitches. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, it's just your house, you have nothing to do with anything that's going on. The police come up and say, "Hey, what was on your camera? Can I look at it?" It's absolutely your choice to let them look. But what you should know is two things. Number one, they cannot force you to look at it. If you want to be one of these people that nobody should get in trouble and you don't want to participate in that, if you deleted the material for the purpose of not letting them see what happened, that could be destruction of evidence. That probably vary by state on what the elements of that crime would be. If your system automatically deletes stuff every 24 hours and it just gets deleted by that, that would be fine. But you do not have to let them look at the footage on your Ring camera. Now, what they can do is they can subpoena it, and in which case you would have to give it to them. So Reds just hit a home run. That's good. I think it was Joseph Daniel Votto. No, Steer hit the home run. So anyway, but most people want to help the police, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. And so they're going to get the video. They're going to see if when he bailed is when he dumped out the stuff. So we're back at commercial. This should be the last commercial of the night. Seems there's 5 minutes left of the show. I'm not going to leave in this commercial break. I'll just talk a little bit. So this was my first attempt at this. I'm going to go back and watch it, see how it sounds, see how it looks, see if I need to make adjustments. I bought a lapel mic to wear for this, but then I decided to have two cameras, a YouTube camera and a Facebook camera. The plan for that was I was going to watch both of them and see which one's better, which one I should do. But frankly, I might just continue to do them both. But we'll play with that. I plan on doing it again tomorrow night. So We'll start the video probably about 5 minutes before 9. My source for watching it is I'm streaming it on my iPad. Tased in the traffic. So somebody just asked a question, what about the chase that the suspect was tased in traffic? I don't remember that one. If that was tonight, I don't know how I missed that. But yeah, I mean, that's a perfect example. I mean, if the car is moving, tasing people, I mean, come on. I guess I wish I look at things from both sides. I think the way that tasing works is for most healthy people, if you get tased, as soon as the electricity stops, you've still got that surge of adrenaline, but within moments you have your facilities back. But if you're driving a car, what the heck's that about? I don't know the answer, but that's certainly the debate that happens when it comes to at what point is chasing the right thing to do. And look, you got people who say for anything, if it doesn't matter how small the crime is, if you run from police, you should get chased. And while I don't believe that's true in 100% of the cases, I certainly understand that point of view that for most of them, if you're running for a reason. So anyway, I watch it on the iPad streaming from my DirecTV app. And what that means, the reason I'm doing it that way instead of watching it straight from DirecTV, which is the TV that's over in front of me, is that allows most people to be able to sync their TV to me talking, because a lot of people stream either through the streaming services or however they watch it. If I did it live from the DirecTV broadcast, I would be ahead of most people, and that'd be impossible for you to sync it. We are I will save the videos, so people who DVR it, they can fast forward. Thank you, Sheldon. The lapel mic gain mic can be turned down slightly. I guess you're saying if I was wearing one, I could. I don't have one tonight. It's just for Facebook, it's coming through the Samsung. The disclaimer screen is on the OPLive. Once again, I'm a licensed lawyer, not your lawyer. I'm not licensed in any state that's being broadcast here. Don't follow anything that you hear from me. So the guy says that he ran because he had warrants. So he picked up a new felony for fleeing tonight. In Georgia, just so you know, if you pick up a felony fleeing, which means that you left the state, and in my part of the state, that's very easy to do because we're right on the border of Tennessee, or you drive recklessly, and there's some definitions of what reckless would be. That's a felony, and it's a mandatory sentence of 1 year, or pay a fine of $5,000 to $10,000. So if you're rich, go ahead and flee all you want. You can buy your way out of it. If you're not rich, don't flee in Georgia, because if they charge you with a felony, you are going to prison 1 year. Not parolable, not probationable, not suspendable. You're going to clink. So this woman the officer asked, why did you leave when I told you to stop? And she said, I don't trust you all. Meaning, I don't trust any of y'all police. So yeah, here's the story now. What's happening though? These people claim that this guy came to their house and they got mad. So in retaliation, they went back to his house, and then the police show up while they're at his house. So of course they look like the aggressor. And now the show's over, so we're not having anything else. Well, I had fun tonight. I hope y'all did too. I will. We're gonna try it again tomorrow night. I'm gonna try to watch some of this tomorrow. See what kind of adjustments I can make. Unfortunately for you all, I am not a tech savvy person. After we finish this tonight on my Facebook page, I'm going to post a picture of what my little setup here looks like. I've got my TV way back there. That is the direct TV stream. That's how I know that the commercials are coming up or about over. Then I got my laptop here that's showing YouTube, that's filming the YouTube. Then I got an old phone here that's set up on Wi-Fi. That's doing my Facebook stream. And then down here, I got my iPad. That's where I'm actually watching the show and listening to the show. And then, of course, the most important thing is right here, I got my phone broadcasting me the Reds game so I can keep up with that. They're on the West Coast this week. And they're winning 5-2 in the top of the seventh. They got the bases loaded with one out. So we might just, maybe we'll finish this up with that. But thanks everybody for watching. I'd say throughout the evening, I probably had about 30 or 40 viewers. I'll be interested to see if anybody who DVR'd the program will go back and watch this. My goal from this is going to be just to let you all hear from a defense attorney's perspective some of the things that are going on, and why the police do certain things, why you should not do certain things, and what you should do, or what these people should do, or what these idiots should do, however it looks. Because a lot of people assume that what the court system is always the prosecutors against the defense attorneys. And I guess if you boil it down, that is what it is. But the way I look at it is it's the defense attorneys just here to make sure everybody's doing their job right. And if they're not, they call them out. That's it. That's how I look at it. And it all starts with this. This is the first thing I do when I get a case. I want to see the video. I want to read the police report. I want to know, what did the police do to interact? But that's about it for tonight. I know it's late. So again, thanks everybody for watching. We're going to try it again tomorrow night. So thank you, OPLive Nation, and have a good night. I'm figuring out how to turn all this off now.